Welcome to r/leopardsatemyface, where the schadenfreude is so real. It's funny, I voted for Donald Trump. That's your first mistake. He won, and I got Pam Bondi, I got Kash Patel, I got John Toon, I got Mike Johnson, I got Dan Benigno, I got Marco Rubio, and I got Howard Lutnick. I got screwed. I can't think of anyone worse for all those positions. What a tragedy. Hi, it's almost like you voted for an entire political party that was based off of gullible idiots voting for and running the regime. Also, they're easily manipulated, just like you. By the way, this is typical cult behaviour. Never blame the cult leader. It's always those people around him who screwed things up. That's why in dictatorships, the underlings are always executed. If only the Tsar knew. If only dear leader knew, he would have fixed all of this. Even Fox News can no longer hide it. And Trump surprisingly slammed their polling quality as the worst ever straight during their interview. Trust me, the Republican Party is always the party of truth. You know, whenever it's something that isn't something they like, it must be false, right? There can never be a truth that isn't their truth. Has the Trump administration made the economy better or worse? Oh, look, 52% say worse, and only 30% say better. Podcaster and Trump supporter Theo, who has had Trump on his show, takes an issue on his image being used in a deranged DHS deportation video. Whoa, the regime will use you for propaganda points with or without your permission? Whoa, shocker. DHS, I didn't approve to be used in this. I know you know my address, so send a check. Yeah, it's always about the money with these people, isn't it? Grifters gotta grift. And please take this down, and please keep me out of your banger deportation videos. When it comes to immigration, my thoughts and heart are more nuanced than this video allows. Bye. Yeah, only because he didn't get a check. That's quite reflective of a large amount of MAGA. Only cares when it affects them or they don't get benefits from it. Sound familiar, anyone? Something like 75% of the posts on this subreddit are just Trump supporters wanting him to send them checks. Oh, but getting government handouts, that's definitely not communist, guys, if we're doing it. He should come over to the liberal side. Soros pays better than Trump. Or at least he's more consistent. George never promises anything and never delivers. Donald makes everything from vague statements to signed contracts, and never delivers. What, you expect Taco to not chicken out? Come on, it's been 7 months of this fucking clown show, and you've not realised that yet? Antivax group feels betrayed after brainworm Bobby blamed Tylenol, not vaccines, for autism. Isn't Tylenol the US version of paracetamol? Last time I checked, that doesn't cause autism, but alright. Trump administration to link Tylenol use to risk of autism. The president is expected to say that acetaminophen, I am too stupid to be able to read that, by the way, I'm sorry. The most commonly used pain reliever during pregnancy should only be used for high fevers. Congrats to Tylenol on winning their multi-million-dollar lawsuit. We didn't wait 20 years for Bobby to finally speak and then get served Tylenol for an answer. If that's all we hear, is that the end? Not Thimerosal, not aluminium, not MMR, not Hep B, not the insane schedule pushed after farmer got liability protection. Are we just supposed to forget? No, I think you're supposed to go get an education. I don't know if it's incredibly shit in the US, but I don't think it teaches you to be an anti-vaxxer or reject modern medicine. And also common logic, but okay. The bullshit autism myth originated from just one faked study. The 1998 Lancet study by Andrew Wakefield falsely linked the MMR vaccine to autism in 12 children, notably lacking controls and evidence, exposed as fraudulent due to manipulated data and financial conflicts. It was retracted in 2010, and Wakefield lost his medical license. Extensive studies confirm no vaccine autism link, but the myth persists, causing vaccine hesitancy and measles outbreaks. I really don't get why this whole anti-vax crowd rejects modern medicine and thousands of doctors and peer-reviewed papers, but then go on to believe one provably fake study. Yeah, it's almost like they don't have any root in truth and basically just go, la 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 la, I can't hear you. Crazy on that. And they spread it to all vaccines and then to all injections, including vitamin shots. Ugh, anti-vaxxers really are the worst. Hey chat, if you guys want to support this gay guy reading stuff, you should totally like, subscribe and share, cause it helps me a lot. Anyways, thanks for watching and back to the video. Turns out electing the CEO president was bad for CEOs? That's the thing about electing a multi-billionaire narcissist that lives, breathes and dies malicious intent. He may advertise himself as whatever, but at the end of the day, even the rich people aren't safe from his stupidity and narcissism. They might get the most breaks from him, but they're still not immune. Share of US CEOs who say they agree with the following. 80% say that Trump is not acting in America's best interests by pressuring the Fed to cut interest rates. 74% say courts are correct that the tariffs are illegal as executed. 71% say US tariffs have been harmful to their business? But the propaganda said that, tariffs would be paid by other countries and not by the consumer. That can't be right. 68% say Trump is giving in to China on the TikTok deal. And 62% are not investing more in domestic manufacturing since Liberation Day. Wow, it's almost as if the tariffs don't really provide them an incentive to do domestic manufacturing and just make it expensive for people. Because at the end of the day, they still get their profit from it. CEO Whisperer, whatever that is, says US business leaders are privately anxious about democracy and the state of the economy under Trump. Famed Yale business guru Jeffrey Sonnenfeld said America's top tycoons are freaked out by Trump's Maoist MAGA movement. What? Maoist? But they're like freedom and patriotism, and they're definitely looking for the best interests of everyone. Despite some executives' dear leader praise in public. Well, yeah, you think they want to get retaliation from Poopy Diaper? You'd be thinking wrong. Anyone paying attention already knew that Trump was an incompetent businessman. The only success he had was as a swindler and a reality TV show host. The CEOs thought Trump was their swindler. It reminds me of people trying to buy into scams and stuff like that, thinking that they're gonna beat the scam. I feel like the fact that they got outplayed by a super simple grift should be enough to break the myth that CEOs know what the fuck they're talking about. Crazy that. Turns out CEOs aren't actually that smart. Well, I don't think you need to look anywhere else except Trump to come to that conclusion. You think he's smart? If you're doing this day and age, Jesus. Surprise! Trump cares more about propping up Milei's libertarian bullshit than you. Well, yeah, libertarianism and that sort of thing definitely works. Just ignore all of the subsidies needed for it. Cause, dismantling the government really works. Argentina is a systematically important US ally in Latin America, and the US Treasury stands ready to do what's needed within its mandate to support Argentina. All options for stabilization are on the table. Whoa, but their system works so well they don't need handouts. Or it's almost as if like the entire right wing is actually dependent on handouts, whether they realize it or not. Screw you. Why are the American taxpayers paying for the world? I'm so sick of Trump. I regret my vote. Okay, regretting your vote doesn't undo the damage you've already made. How about you rectify it in the next election? Even if there is one. Many $5,000 check for Milei, but no $5,000 check for you, MAGA. Lol. Oh yeah, what happened to that? You know, that $5,000 stimulus check or whatever the hell that everyone was meant to get. Just like the rest of it, it was a bunch of bullshit. Who'd have thought? So around this time, Milei announced he needs a ton of foreign investment to stabilize the peso. So bootstrappy libertarian. How many times has he claimed he will go to war in 2025 so far? Well, he'll go to war over the gays, trans people, things that will affect him, trans people, the gays, trans people. Did I mention trans people? Yeah, he really doesn't like trans people for some reason. Oh yeah, maybe because his trans daughter sees Musk for the total piece of shit deadbeat that he is and doesn't like him. The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H1B. Take a big step back and fuck yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. Just a word of advice for all maggots out there. Writing tweets on Twitter isn't going to war. Just hope you guys understand that. Hopefully he won't go to war in a Cybertruck, as it will probably break down and fall apart on the way. Oh, and yeah, Elon, nobody's scared of you. Well, yeah, but think about it. He might, like, post a tweet about you or, like, ban your Twitter account. Oh no. And then the Cybertruck will also catch fire. Well, yeah, that too. Fox News interviews Trump, and Trump then said Fox's polls are the worst polls. Well, yeah, because they said one thing bad about him, therefore they're the worst ever. There has never been worse polls. President Poopy Diaper. We're gonna have numbers like nobody's ever seen before. 0 or numbers in the negative, like negative a significant amount. That's numbers we've never seen before. Until you dipshit. McCallum, when do you think we're gonna see that? Recent Fox polling showed 52% said the economy is worse under this administration. And Poopy Diaper, Fox polling is the worst polling. Until then, a poll is praising Trump, then it's the best polling, and CNN's polling, it's the worst polling, but it's good when it's pro-Trump. Like I said, the mental gymnastics with these guys is insane. It's appalling how people still don't see through his ignorance and bullshit. Some people only see what they want to see. It has always been that way, unfortunately. Seems like a lot of voters would rather stick their fingers in their ears and go la 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 la, I can't hear you, than, you know, deal with reality. Oh, wow, they're already coming for his widow. Erica Kirk, widow of Charlie Kirk, named the new CEO of Turning Point USA. And a bunch of Facebook keyboard warriors calling Erica Kirk trans, a man, biological male, la la la. Right. And they claim that they're the respectable ones? Right. When I saw that she was the new CEO, I laughed so hard. Because her audience is not going to give a fuck about what any woman has to say, whether they agree with it or not, LaMail. Conservative women really do think they can enjoy the privilege of the women's liberation movement while they speak out against women's liberation. It's given Serena Joy energy. Remember what happened when Serena Joy tried to stand up and argue that women should be allowed to read though? Yep, and Erica's still gonna be all shocked Pikachu face when it happens to her. Wow, it's almost like the conservative movement isn't this amazing Christ-loving organization, and is actually just an organization that peddles hate because they're inherently hateful people. And here's the thing, like I've said before, siding with the fascists doesn't get you benefits. At best, all it does is delay the inevitable. Democrats not to cry during Biden's presidency if the cost of living goes up, but now crying during Trump's presidency because the cost of living's up. Whoa, you've got it all wrong. See, MAGA are allowed to cry and seethe, but all the libs, whenever they cry, they're little snowflakes. You can't have MAGA without double standards. I better not see you Democrats cry in the next 4 years, no matter how much the cost of living goes up, or what your president throws at you. Suck it up. I don't want to see no tears. There wasn't actually that much crying and seething, but okay. But hey, there must have been absolutely no crying and seething from the Republicans for the past 7 months, right? Let's use the extra money that you say you were getting. And I love you, Trump, but I'm a fixed ed income. MAGAs just don't know grammar, do they? And my power bill is $1,900. How the fuck is your power bill that high? Have you not been paying it? Oh yeah, that's probably it. I've done everything I can, and I've been paying $200 a month, plus $500 extra, just to keep it on for 4 months. Duke Energy in North Carolina is scamming people out of money. It needs to be looked into. And this has been said over and over, and still nothing's happened, and all the funds they've got throwing out there, saying we've got funds for this, is out of funds. The fuck? Say funds one more time, please, I swear to God. Even Salvation Army has gave so much that they are out of funds. All the government sites that help is out of funds. What? Why can't you give them money to help these people out? I really wonder when these people are going to be in any fucking way coherent. Like, is that crazy to hope? By the looks of it, this person's been looking for handouts as a member of the anti-handout party, and full and short, it's almost like you voted for the party that was going to get rid of handouts. Crazy that. How the hell does this person have a $1,900 monthly power bill? It's probably because they haven't paid it in the several of the AC full blast months. Or the lights are on while nobody's home. Yeah, I mean, by the coherency of that post, I think it's that.